This is not a Harlem Shake video, this is a Constellation project.
Hello class, good afternoon. My name is Professor Cullen, and today me and my associates are going to be talking about Ursa Minor. So first we have then we have and finally we have here's me! Now that I've ever introduced everyone, the first associate that will be speaking is Amber.
There are many different variations in regards to the mythology of Ursa Minor. A popular Roman explanation for the existence of this constellation starts off with an affair between a nymph named Castillo and the Roman god Jupiter. When Juno, Jupiter's wife, became aware of this affair, she turned Castillo into a bear. The bastard child from this affair, Arcas, was out hunting in the forest one day when he ran into a bear who was displaying odd behavior. Of course, he did not realize this was his mother, given the strange form. He prepared to shoot the bear. He raised his weapon. Before he could even think about proceeding, Jupiter quickly transformed Arcas into a bear, and the two were placed into the sky together. Annoyed by the honor the two received, Juno inquired the help of Poseidon, the marine god, and convinced him to forbid the mother-son duo from bathing in the sea, which would explain why both Ursa Major and Minor are circumpolar, never dipping beneath the horizon when viewed from the northern latitudes. A tale popular among Native Americans said that the constellation represents a group of hunters who got lost in a forest. After praying to the spirits for relief of this feeling, a small girl appeared to the hunters, claiming to be a spirit of the pole star. She led them home, and thereafter Polaris was known as the star that does not move. The hunters eventually transported into the sky, where they forever followed the pole star. Ursa Minor, which means little bear in Latin, is a prominent circumpolar constellation in the northern sky. It is best seen at latitudes between 90 degrees and -10 degrees, and is most visible around 9 p.m. in the month of June. Ursa Minor also belongs to the Ursa Major family of constellations.
That was a great job, Amber. My next associates that will be speaking are going to be Kirsten and Stefany.
Polaris, the commonly known North Star, is often mistaken for being the brightest star in the sky. It is only the 50th brightest, but still easy to find on a clear night. To locate Polaris, you need to find the Big Dipper and draw a line from the outer part of the bowl. Once found, you will know the direction north. If you put your arms out, the right points east and the left points west, and about face is south. Polaris is many times used as a compass for travelers. Slaves use the star as a guide when escaping north to freedom. Sailors use the star to guide the way. At the North Pole, Polaris is directly overhead. As we move south, Polaris drops in the sky. At the equator, Polaris is seen at the horizon. South of the equator, Polaris is not visible. In time exposure photographs, all stars are moving around a stationary Polaris. On March 24, 2100, Polaris will align most closely with the North Celestial Pole. Polaris is used to figure distances to star clusters and galaxies because it's a variable star. Polaris has a luminosity of 2,500 suns and is a yellow supergiant. It lies 430 light-years away. Polaris is part of a triple star system, where 3 stars orbit a common center of mass. Polaris A is a supergiant, with 6 times the mass of the Sun. Polaris AB is a white dwarf, with the same temperature as Polaris A, but it orbits 2 billion miles away. Polaris B is also a white dwarf, with the same temperature as Polaris A, but it rotates 240 billion miles away from Polaris A. All 3 stars cannot be seen with the naked eye, but with a telescope. Polaris is our North Star, but will not always be so because of the tilt of Earth's axis. Eventually, another star will take its place.
The Greek mythology of Polaris is a young woman, daughter of Apollo, god of the sun. She was a wild girl, never able to stay in one place for long, and when her mother passed away, she decided to go out and explore the world. One day, much to the distraught of Apollo, Polaris stopped praying to him and started praying to his sister Artemis. He went to confront her, and Artemis was confused, because Polaris wasn't praying for the hunt, but for her freedom. Apollo was confused, wanting to know the truth why she was asking for freedom. So he went to Athens to find out where Polaris was. Turns out Polaris was kidnapped by Athegos, who wanted her as his wife. So Apollo disguised himself as a mouse and went to Athegos' house to find out his precious Polaris was dead. So now, Polaris lives in the sky, watching over those in need and guides the lost ones to help.
Kochab is the beta star of Ursa Minor. It has an apparent magnitude of 2.07. Kochab is 40 times larger in diameter than our Sun, 500 times more energetic, and 500 times more luminous. Kochab is an orange giant with a temperature of 4,000 Kelvin and 126 light-years away. Kochab has run out of hydrogen fuel and is now an evolving orange-class K4 giant star. It's running on the fusion of helium. This star is the top front bull star of the Little Dipper. It's located 15 degrees north of the celestial pole.
The name Kochab is derived from an Arabic title that apparently refers to its nearness to the North Celestial Pole. And in fact, about 3,000 years ago, it was closer to the pole than Polaris.
Bearcat is the gamma star of Ursa Minor. Bearcat is a hot white giant with an apparent magnitude of -3. Bearcat burns 15 times larger than our Sun and has 1,100 times more energy than our Sun. It is also 480 light-years away.
The name Bearcat appears to be derived from the Arabic term for calf. At times, Kochab and Bearcat were seen as two calves because they seem as close to the pole as calves to their mother. The most interesting fact to me is the engagement ring in the Ursa Minor. Ursa Minor really does not have a lot of noticeable features, such as a nebulae or huge star clusters, because it's a fairly small constellation. But like I said, it does have unique features. If one looks through a pair of binoculars or small telescope, you can locate a ring of 7th and 8th magnitude stars known as the engagement ring. Its right ascension is 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 49.6 seconds. This unique asterism can be located slightly south of Polaris. The North Star is actually known as the ring's crowning jewel.
Party time!